Ladies and gentlemen, we are live for a brand new day. 12th of the 12th, 12 more days till Christmas. Have you been naughty or nice? Guys, today we're obviously experiencing a bit of a crash. Now, unless you've been living under a rock the last literally 12 to 24 hours, you would know this. I'm not the first person to break the news. Matter of fact, most of us are probably on CoinMarketCap and CoinGecko checking this well before anyone made a video on it. But you're here for my opinion, right? We're going to go over some of today's news and also what I plan to do and what I am buying. Buying the dips, obviously very important to do. That's when you DCA. You don't buy the FOMO, you buy the dip. That's a saying for a reason. So I'm going to show you some altcoins today I'm looking into, how to actually spot altcoins to buy the dip on. Generally, this is stuff that I've been preaching over the last 2 years anyway, but it's always good to refresh and just show the new people around here how we operate and how you do it in crypto. But first of all, hello everyone. How are you all doing? You can literally see the red radiating off my screen right now on the heat map. Zilla, what up? What up? Good to see you in here, brother. Buy the dip for sure. I'm buying H-bar. Actually, I think it's under 7 cents, right? Last I checked, it fell underneath that. So H-bar would be a good buy right now, I guess. I mean, we'll have a look in a second anyway. Thanks for being here. It's the K-Man, lunchtime crypto. Maybe that's what I should rename the live streams to. It is lunchtime, actually. It's midday here. I am about an hour and a half late. I want to try to do these about 10:30 a.m. my time, but I got caught up. So there's a massive cyclone. So you guys in America and other places around the world know them as tornadoes. So tornadoes are very concentrated, whirlwind, right? Devastating, of course. But over here in Australia, we have, basically in the Asia Pacific area, we have cyclones, right? So these are much bigger. Basically, it's massive. It's hundreds of kilometers long. And we got one coming straight towards us. Apparently by 6 p.m., so in 6 hours, the winds are supposed to be getting to 120 Ks, which will be about, I think, 70 to 80 miles an hour. So I'm going to get this done quickly and get out. When dip? We're dipping right now. I'm trying to sleep and you're busting out live stream. Montana, get to sleep. You know what I say around here, right? Sleep's number one. Thanks for coming in, though. Hey, what's going on, Scissor? AVAX is the new ETH. No, I think Solana will be the new ETH for the bull run, actually. Buy the dip, 100%. Yes, we are well. Thank you for asking. We've been hit by fires and now a tornado in the last cyclone in the last 2 months. It's been kind of crazy over here. We'll look at some projects in a second here. So I'll just introduce what's going on, Waltz. I'll introduce everyone to today's market update. Not that I'm, again, breaking any news here. Everyone's likely seen this already, but we must do it. We must do it. It is a part of the tradition. So, I mean, look how red we are today. It's beautiful. It's glorious. I hate seeing green. Yes, I hate it because I want to buy. I have conviction. I know the project's going to do well. I know there's going to be a bull run. I know it's all going to work out. I just want to buy more. And you can't buy more when it's green, or at least highly green. All right. So Bitcoin down to about 41K. I think it wicked down under 40,000, and it definitely was 40,000 for a good part of, I believe, last night / the evening. I checked it at least some point in the last 24 hours, and it was at 40,000. But I know it did wick down. Either way, we are up a little bit right now, holding steady. Now, the coin market cap, I want to go just show you guys what the global market cap currently is. 1.5 trillion. We were up at about 1.6 trillion, which is still, keep in mind, this is a very big increase from where we were earlier in the year, right? We basically were at around 1 trillion. Now we're up 50%. We were pushing 60%, of course. So, nothing to complain about here. Corrections are very healthy for those who haven't been around in a bull run. Or any sort of market, every market has corrections. It's very natural. Just crypto's corrections are a bit more powerful, just as they are conversely on the upside as well. So nothing to fear. Even if we fall back down to 1.3 trillion and everyone's freaking out at the end of crypto, all the buzzwords everyone uses, stay convicted, stay strong. Don't be wavered, just don't be wavered. It's going to happen. You're going to kill yourself in 6 months if we do have a bit more of a crash and the projects are are corrected by then, you're going to be like, oh my God, it was so obvious, right? Now, there's a few projects I'm going to talk about today that I spoke about actually yesterday as well that I think are obvious buys. Like, I don't even know if they're down much right now, but if they do continue to dip, I am going to be buying more. There is one particular project that I want to become a whale in. I want to buy a lot of the tokens when I possibly can, and we can talk about that later on. So again, how do we kind of spot whether a project's a good time to buy or not? Well, it's very simple. We look at the 7-day. In crypto, well, let me just pull up CoinMarketCap real quick. And again, we're going to go over this later on. This wasn't the main part of the first part of the video here, but when you're looking to buy altcoins, people tend to look at the 24-hour or the 1 hour, like real skits people, right? Look at the 1 hour, and they tend to look at that and go, oh my God, it's up or down 5 to 10%. Oh my God, it's dropping. Look at the 7-day, because a project can be down 5, 10% on the hour or the 24-hour, right? But the 7-day, they can still be substantially up and the other way around. So you want to look at, what do they say? When in doubt, zoom out. Well, it's not when you're in doubt. You should always zoom out, okay? Always zoom out. Have a look at the macro moves and have a look at where things are going, because that will give you a much better picture. Of course, just like anything, if you're playing a game of Where's Wally and you zoom right into one specific area, you tend to get lost, right? It's better if you look at and you're trying to find the colors and match and stuff like that. So that's what we're doing here essentially. So that's all I would say to you guys is have a look at the 7-day, and we'll get more into the exact details in terms of like what I particularly do for my portfolio towards the end of the news, right? But I want to say as well, before we continue, the greed right now is 74 on the index, right? So this was about, I think, 80, 81 yesterday. So yeah, it's definitely pulled back down a little bit. I still think over 70 is extremely overextended. Look at this. Above 80 is like dark, like extreme greed. We were extreme greed. That's like an indicator like there's going to be a crash sometime soon for sure, or at least crash, correction, whatever you want to say, right? This doesn't really go back very far, unfortunately. We can't really rely on CoinMarketCap, but I love to go back to have a look at the last bull and bear markets just to show you guys, but wasn't prepared right now. So let's now get into today's news. We have a little bit of stuff to cover today, not in terms of size, but in terms of importance, I guess, or possible importance. And why I say possible is, well, for starters, we'll begin with Uniswap here, because I don't really think this is good news. But I think it is an evolution, right? If you watched my video last night on 15 predictions, and I was pushing you all this on yesterday's live stream from Van Eck, right, a large asset manager, very reputable asset manager. They predicted the increase in, I guess, layer 2 Bitcoin networks. One of those is Stacks, right? You guys have probably heard of Stacks by now. And offering solutions for Bitcoin on, it could be a layer 2 on Ethereum, whatever it might be, but interacting on the Bitcoin network, right? And in this case, one of these networks, I believe it's down here, it's called Rootstack. It's a side chain. They've actually implemented Uniswap, right, into Bitcoin, basically. Now, not into Bitcoin against a side chain, but it allows you to pretty much leverage Bitcoin a lot more seamlessly than we've had before, apparently, at least anyway, right? So the reason why I'm a bit iffy on this is because we're trying to do too much with Bitcoin. Okay, it's fine. Like again, Van Eck predicted that we're going to have all these side chains offering, I think, what was it called? It was a Cosmos network that was actually quite interesting. It allowed you to bond tokens to proof of stake networks, like secure them as a node, but then also earn yield on Bitcoin, which is a lot safer than the current method via the Lightning Network. Apparently, there's a way you can earn Bitcoin. It's unsafe. There's a high barrier to entry. You have to know a lot, and also it's like very low rewards, right? So it's kind of moving away from that, and it makes a lot of sense, but I still think we're overloading the network here when it comes to all this stuff related to the ordinals and all that sort of crap, and that's why it was going to take off, at least they thought, right? If you watched last night's video, you know exactly what I'm talking about here. Anyway, so the project's called Rootstack, and again, they just simply spun up Uniswap v3, offering a few different things on the Bitcoin network, right? Swapping mechanisms, increased liquidity, and potential yield opportunities. I think potential yield is probably like the best use case in this case. Increased liquidity for what? Swaps? That's just what you've introduced. So anyway, I don't think that's really great news, to be honest with you, but some people might geek out over that. I get it. People want to use their Bitcoin for more things. Totally understandable. Makes absolute sense. I just don't like it. So that's my thought. Okay, I try to remain subjective and objective when I can. News number 2, kind of interesting news here. Elizabeth Warren expands coalition for crypto crackdown bill. Basically, they're pushing this bill called the Digital Asset Anti-Money Laundering Act, or whatever it is, right? Basically, it's going to prevent all these things like, well, what they said in here: money laundering, ransom attacks, sanction evasion, and drug trafficking, as well as, very importantly, I believe, elder fraud, right? A lot of that's happening in crypto. The elderly people have maybe a little bit of money to spend, and they're just getting scammed, basically. They know nothing about any of this sort of stuff. Even if they are like computer literate, like my grandmother is. She has a phone, she's like, 75, pushing 80, I think. She has all that sort of stuff, computer. But when it comes to using crypto, there's no way in hell that she'd be able to use this, right? So anyway, quite interesting. She's pushing this, and I think she has a few more people behind her, specifically in the finance sector, I believe it mentions down here as well. So it looks like they're really trying to pass something here. I just don't know what the implications are going to be for crypto in terms of like what's going to have to be like, okay, well, this is a bill, this is regulation, this is a guideline. So where does that enter in the stack? You guys know the stack, right? Layer 0 networks support layer 1, layer 1 supports dApps, layer 2 supports dApps, so on and so forth. Like, where's it going to be implemented? I think this was a big problem with Sam Bankman-Fried. Sam Bankman-Fried wanted this to be implemented, but the question, I believe, is, or at least was, where? Where do we implement this? In the applications and the layers? Like, what do we do? So anyway, they're trying, and she's definitely trying. She's definitely trying to bring us down, I think. And like, you could say, oh, bring us down, right? Like, this actually probably is a good thing when you think about it objectively. Like, it is a good thing to be more regulated. That way, less people are attacked. But that's only because people whinge when they lose money, right? Because they enter crypto thinking it's just a get-rich-quick scheme, and it kind of is. But at the same time, you have all this risk that no one ever is told about. And so when you lose money, what happens? Well, you're going to start crying, right? Because you didn't expect that to happen to you. And, hey, this shit happens all the freaking time. I've lost money before. I remember like a year and a half ago, there was like a company that wanted to pay for like a sponsored clip, 1 minute sponsored clip on the channel, no harm, no foul. And I gave them an address, but I gave them the wrong network, something like that. And the funds was lost, right? And I had to cop it on the chin, right? And back then, that was, again, back like way ages ago, I wasn't even making money from ad revenue from YouTube. So that was a real big kick in the butt. But it's part of the game. Who are you going to complain to? No one, right? So I think this is good, but I think they, like, just like the SEC, mean harm. I don't think that they're trying to kill it. They're not necessarily trying to help it grow, which is the big difference, I believe. News number 3 for the day: Engine completes migration of over 200 million NFTs from Ethereum to the Engine blockchain. Obviously, what they're trying to do here is allow people, or at least create an application network, if you will, that is more fruitful, I guess, for people, right? If people have all the same NFTs they use on Ethereum and OpenSea or Polygon over here on the Engine network, they're going to want to use the Engine network. At least that's the theory. Now, I thought of that for a second. I thought, I don't know about that, right? Because if you migrate, like if you think about it, if you migrate all these NFTs over to a different platform, people are just still going to want to use what they're accustomed to. They're not going to want to use unless your platform is like offering 100 million different services and it's just like that much better. That makes sense. But if you're just migrating and saying, hey guys, we got all this over here, it's just like if you're a business and you've got everything down pat, you got your workflow, day-to-day is all the same, your back end, and then you get a new boss, and your boss comes in and says, well, hey, we're going to migrate everything over to this new software. It's like, why? If it does the same thing, why? Oh, there's no benefits. We're just going to do it. Okay, well, now we're going to fuck all the workflow up. So that's kind of the way I see it in a way. So let me get more into it here, and I want to actually introduce you to a project that's, I think, a big part of this. So Engine, an NFT platform, previously announced the creation of its own blockchain back in June. Now, we're going to come back to that. The new network will include many NFT-focused features, such as NFT transfers and royalty enforcement in the blockchain code. Okay, so that's like sort of the extra benefit. Like if they can offer these extra things, and yeah, it makes a little bit more sense, right? The transition will also bring about the implementation of built-in royalties, another bonus, I guess, and the introduction of fuel tanks, which will enable developers to offset gas. Now, I'm not an NFT expert by any stretch. I don't think they're that hard to get your head around, really, but I haven't done any research on them, basically. But I'm pretty sure built-in royalties are like a thing, aren't they? Like, that's not really groundbreaking. Going forward, the company aims to enable games and applications to initiate their own layer 1 chains, what does it say? Ensuring seamless interoperability with larger engine blockchain. Okay, cool. Yeah, so that's different. That is cool. Understandable. So there's a few interesting things here, and if they are quite unique, it makes a lot of sense. Especially, I think they're mainly competing with Ethereum and Polygon. So as long as they can like outpace those guys and slightly edge out the competition, I think they'll do quite well. But in my opinion, I just don't see a need to do that. But interestingly enough, you know, we mentioned before about they created their own blockchain back in June. I'm pretty sure this is their blockchain, Affinity. If you guys remember from the Polkadot Parachain Season Mania in 2021, we spoke about Affinity on the channel as well. These guys were quite promising. They were built by Engine. The Engine team, again, it's just the same team, built this network. It's a blockchain, was proposed as a super highway for NFTs, games, all that sort of stuff. Very fast, highly interoperable, I guess, blockchain, right? Built on Polkadot. Well, it looks like they've circled back and now they're calling it the official blockchain for Engine. Again, Engine was these guys, right? Engine is like a gaming NFT sort of project. It's been around for a while. And so I think, now again, it does depend here, but I think that depending on how this integration goes, that Affinity, of course, is going to be pretty popular, right? Just by proxy, because it's, again, associated with Affinity. But I want to say, like, that's by no means something that you should go ahead and buy, right? It's actually been performing quite, like, look at the 24-hour trading volume, 5K. Like, again, that's not always, you know, I tell you guys all the time, like, don't look at that as an indication of good or bad. But I mean, I don't know. I'm just worried how it's going to be integrated. Like, why would you want to buy the Affinity token? That's my big sticking point, right? It's the infrastructure for this amazing transfer of all these NFTs and this new marketplace, so on and so forth. But is it going to be required? And apparently, you can just use the Engine coin anyway for all this sort of stuff. So I just like wanted to mention this because I know that some of you guys that remember this and that were around back then with the parachains, you will be like, oh, Affinity, that makes total sense. Just be careful. We'll see how this progresses and what actually, or how it's implemented within that whole ecosystem, right? So the last bit of news for the day here is in regards to FIFA. Yes, FIFA, right? FIFA drops NFTs that offer chance at World Cup final tickets. A bit of controversy behind this, actually. I'll tell you why. So FIFA is releasing digital collectibles that will give owners the first, or at least, let me reset that again because this is worded weird. That will give owners of the first 100 released a chance to secure tickets. I hate when people just don't type shit properly. A chance to secure tickets to the 2026 FIFA World Cup final. The organization is also moving its NFT collectibles to the Polygon blockchain, right? So just two different things there, but I'll read on, then I'll announce the kind of bit of confusion here. For the first drop, 100 digital collectibles will be made available and will feature the rarest collectibles that offer a chance to secure 2026 FIFA World Cup final tickets. That's cool, right? So if you get one of these 100 tickets, or at least NFTs, you can get a spot at the finals, 2026 World Cup finals. But remember, there's only 100, and they're going to be quite expensive, at least I would assume, right? A total of 900 other digital collectibles will be issued on the Polygon network and made available on OpenSea. So a total of 1,000. The first 100 that will be made available will offer the World Cup final tickets. But this is interesting, right? Because when this came out initially, this is what I thought as well, that, oh my God, they've moved away from Algorand. So I think it was FIFA Collect Plus or FIFA Plus Collects was, again, a branch of FIFA here, offering a whole bunch of NFTs on the Algorand blockchain. And with this news, everyone's going, oh my God. So they've said goodbye to Algorand and they're now working with Polygon on this collection. But actually, that's wrong. Okay, so again, some of the choice words over here, right? Where are we over here? The organization is also moving its NFT collectibles to the Polygon blockchain. A total of 900 other digital collectibles will be issued on the Polygon network. So 900 other collectibles will be issued on the Polygon network. This wording from the block here is absolutely abysmal. Horrible wording all around. Hate it. It's confused. It's made a lot of people FUD Algorand, and it's just very confusing to read, right? So the first 100 will actually be made on Algorand, the rarest ones, and then the 900 other ones will be made because they're more readily available on a much larger NFT platform, which is OpenSea on Polygon. So anyway, Eldar, by the way, if you guys are an Algorand fan, you must follow this guy right here on Twitter. Follow him. Like, again, big part of my strategy with the bull run is staying on top of the news. And anyone invested in Algorand must follow this dude. He's 20 years investment banker. He literally puts me to shame. So Let me just read this to you, right? To clarify, FIFA Plus Collect confirmed to me that they are not leaving Algorand, and moreover, the rarest NFTs, those 100, will be available on Algorand, right? So again, a lot of people were flooding it. Those 900 were moving to the different networks. So anyway, I just wanted to clarify that for all you who were invested in Algorand, possibly freaking out over here. That's fine. Nothing's changed, okay? So we've now made it to the end of the news segment. This is arguably, let me just remove that, arguably the much funner part of your session here. Let me just flick over and answer some of your questions, and then we can get into some altcoin research, or at least just tell you what I'm doing with this whole dip scenario, right? ING is on drugs. INJ rather. Yeah, man, it's just flying. Look at this shit. Doesn't care. Does not care. Smash the like for Kyron to shave his beard. Hit the like button, guys. I mean, you're all here. I really appreciate you. And I know I'm doing a good job when you hit the like button. So thank you. And yeah, look, I'm not shaving the beard again for a little while. I'm going to not let it grow out. I'm going to keep it about this level, but I'm not getting rid of it completely. Hey, bless you too, Montana. Really going through it. Yes. Yeah, we do. Like where I specifically am, we get everything. Hot days, cold days, tropical cyclones, fires, everything. It's not. It's just normal. When I voice it out loud and say it to people that aren't from around here, it just sounds crazy, but it's like completely normal. But thank you for the wishes, though. What up, SSB? What's going on? 3 a.m., man. Ray Moon, dude. That's commitment. I appreciate that. What up, Chili? I think they're going to come after Tether. Yeah, it feels like that. Any coins that you don't like or don't have a position in, but you think will do very well? Okay, now I'm off to bed. All right, I may be talking to future Montana here, but yeah, there's 100%. So some of the projects that I want to talk to you guys about today, I've added to my portfolio. Now, here's the thing. It's funny, right? This is how fast the market moves. So I made my video a few days ago that's going to be releasing, well, not tonight anymore, but tomorrow night on my portfolio update. Well, actually, while I haven't bought any more tokens, so it's still valid, there is a few altcoins that I've added to my to-buy list that I don't actually strictly mention in that one there. I do make mention of them, but not as I'm going to buy. And these ones include, well, first of all, where are you? Oh, I haven't actually added it yet. Immutable X, for starters. Let me add this. Immutable X is one that I'm a little bit sad about because it's still pumping, I believe, right next to Injective. Where are you? Oh, wow. It's Jesus Christ. It's way at the top. And I'm likely going to sell my XLM position. We'll drop in the. I haven't mentioned that in my other video. So I'm going to likely sell my XLM position and move more into gaming. And if IMX drops below, I would say ideally I'm looking for $1.50 if it can. That'd be fantastic. Don't know if it will. If we have more of a correction, it most definitely will. So I'm looking to pretty much move my XLM into Immutable X. But I'm also really eyeing off here Illuvium. These guys are launching on Epic Games store place, I believe. I think it's just going to be one of like the biggest standout crypto games there is. I'm just hoping it doesn't have like the gameplay loop's not dog shit. But I do think it'll do really well. I'm looking to get to Cetify as well. I think this dropped to 350. Poker Startup and Pyth Network. I'm instinctively wanting to call it Pith now because that's how you're supposed to say it. But Pyth, I want to buy a good 10, 20,000 of these tokens, but I'm just waiting it to come back down a bit. And Marinade. Marinade was one of the other projects introduced to me by Mark. And Marinade is basically like, so I'm going to be like hedging heavily into Solana and Solana's ecosystem this bull run. Now, while I don't own any Solana outright, unless it like drops back down like $19, then I will. But it's pretty much almost impossible to happen unless you have a black swan. I'm going to be buying the major players. That might include Marinade in this case, which is a competitor to the recent launch Jito. I might even look to get into Jito as well, one of the two. But right now, in terms of TVL, Marinade is beating it out. And I think Jito is a lot higher market cap. So there's, I think, more multiples to possibly be had here with Marinade. We'll see, though. So that's kind of like my plays right here, Montana. And that's actually part of the reason why I wanted to show you guys this as well, is actually going through and, again, like sorting your projects. So you should always have a watch list on CoinMarketCap. And what you should always do, again, is sort by the 7-day. Okay, sort by the 7-day, press that damn button, make sure it's not up, it's down. We want to sort, well, you can click up, whatever, but we want to sort from like highest performing, best performing to like worst performer. And then we can just scroll down and, again, look at the 7-day right here. Okay, look at the 7-day and we can begin to find some potential buyers. Now, XDC is most definitely a potential buy right here. I think under 5 cents is a pretty good price to buy. Now, I'm not buying any more XDC, but of course, I think I've got in. I'm going to flex on you here a little bit. 3 cents, 3.5 cents ish. I know, not a crazy increase at all, but yeah. So XDC, Illuvium would be the other pick, and this is one, again, I'm trying to get into, right? But I think it'll really shock faces. I think I gave a crazy prediction to a gentleman on the last live stream here. I think it might actually 2 to 2.5x its all-time high. Again, if not even more. Like the price on this thing could go crazy because, again, we're dealing with low supply. Like I'm very confident in Illuvium doing really, really well here. Alrighty. And so I'm looking to add this as my go-to game. I had Big Time on the possible buy list, but I decided to get rid of Big Time because there is that uncertainty around. Well, I like learned this live. I didn't learn it, but I didn't like absorb it before the last live stream, and I thought to myself after the live, I went, no, Big Time's got the unlock is just way too uncertain, and if it is clarified, which it will likely be, we're talking about an increase of billions of tokens. Now, speaking of the billions of tokens, that's my one concern with Pyth network, is that I looked at the tokenomics a few days back, and it looks like there's a lot to still come out. Here's the thing. I'm going to be coming out with a video here very soon touching on a lot of these things. Let me just show you what I'm talking about here. So there's a difference, right? This is the unlock period here for Pyth. Okay, so we're right now about here, okay? We're over here, very steady. These massive unlocks, these massive cliffs. But what you've got to understand about these cliffs is that's a lot. Basically, we'll get our tokens about here. So going from the current 1.5 billion tokens that we have, we're going to have about 6 billion tokens in circulation. So we're like 4xing, right? So you imagine the current, for example, you imagine the current price divided by 4, essentially is what we're talking about, which is, but if that all came into supply today, that initial supply shock would bring the price down to 10 cents. Mind you, we have never been any less than 30 cents. So that is, again, 4x lower than where we are right now. 10 cents with dilution. That's a lot, guys. That's basically requiring 4 times the amount of buy pressure to get it to where it needs to be. So if we wanted to 30x from here, imagine that was 10 billion market cap. Well, now we have to look at 4x that. We have to look at 40 billion market cap. So it's a very big problem when you're talking about predictions. And if you guys follow what I say, you already know this stuff. So that was a big area of concern. But what we have to remember is that where are these tokens going to? And in this case, a lot of these tokens are going to ecosystem growth, right? So they might actually be in custody of Pyth for a while. They might not actually be distributed out, which means they technically, while they technically are in circulation because they can be sold whenever, they're given to an entity, they're not really in circulation, if that makes sense. So when this actually happens, when these big unlock happens, we only see the price tank if people sell the token. Otherwise, it will continue to move upwards. There's going to be no immediate effect. Don't as though when this massive cliff happens, your tokens are going to drop in price, whatever the proportion of that is, 50%. It's not going to happen. They have to be sold on the open market. It doesn't just work like that. So it's a big misconception. I've got a video coming out here soon touching on this very important concept to understand. So yeah, that's my breakdown basically of what I'm looking for here. Again, I want to touch a little bit more on this for Pyth and just go over myself who these entities are. You know, most of that's going towards the ecosystem growth, but what does that really mean? Are they spending those tokens straight away? Because once Pith Network distributes those tokens to, let's say someone wins an ecosystem grant, that's what I assume it would mean. If they decide if that's, over the counter, that's fine. It doesn't affect the price. But if they, I don't know, somehow have to sell it in cash, use the cash to give to these ecosystem, that's bad. So I need to check up on that myself before I go ahead and buy any Pyth. But either way, it's something I definitely want to buy some. Undoubtedly. Now we have some super chats here. My God, they've came through. So thank you guys. One sec, I will get to those uno momento. To answer the question for everyone just joining me now that hasn't seen the start of the live stream, yes, I'm buying the dip. Yes, I do think that there will be a little bit more of a potential dip. But again, do you take the chance on that? Yes or no? The answer is no. We could have a correction. We could move sideways here for a few more days or a week. We just don't know. All right, that's the beautiful part about it. We take educated, guesses, but we take the guesswork out of those educational moves and we just DCA. All right, they just DCA. Very simple. See, these are elevated prices still, so we don't put our big positions in. We just sprinkle it. We just get exposure to the asset. So if the asset turns tomorrow and does 100x, it won't do that. Let's just say 2x. Hey, we made a little 2x. Can't complain. All right. So before I get into answering some of your super chats, I'm going to answer a super chat from yesterday's video, which was from ZC Productions. He donated me $10. We ended the live stream before I could answer his question here, but he says, thoughts on, you guys can't see this by the way, but it's on my screen. He says, thoughts on SNEK, SNEK. In my opinion, the community and team are amazing, plus they produce a real-world product, SNEK Energy. 7 burn mechanisms. That might be too many burn mechanisms, we'll see. And you can even just tag the founder in the Discord. So, mind you, there is such thing as too much burn, by the way. SNEK. Oh, we may have a problem. We may have a problem here. I don't know which SNEK. Okay, it's not that SNEK. Our vision is to create a sustainable and an inclusive token on the Cardano blockchain, providing a fun and rewarding experience. I think Cardano's blockchain, by the way, guys, Cardano's ecosystem is going to melt faces, I believe. They have one of the highest, behind Ethereum, of course, amount of applications on the network. That means something. It's not blown up right now. That's not a real big, no one, everyone's sleeping on that right now. But just wait. Now, if that's mainly NFT projects, yeah, okay, not good. But that's something for you guys to just take off and think about for a sec. Over 2,000 applications. Put an example, Near Protocol is 750. Solana's 1,000 or just under 1,000. So it's doing something. Something's happening. Our vision is to create a sustainable, inclusive token on the Cardano blockchain, providing a fun, rewarding experience to our community. We think it's da-da-da. Okay. Oh. So it's a meme coin. All right. Here's the thing, brother. That's a meme coin. So that is the equivalent of taking an that's the example. If you're a poker player, the house typically wins. So you are trying to outsmart the house, right? So this all comes down, every crypto project basically is memetics, because we're all all projects are a meme. The Casper community got really angry at me for saying Casper's a meme, but every cryptocurrency is a meme. So in this case, yeah, it should be fine. But of course, there's less substance to these sort of projects. There is less tangibility. There's no if you're invested in this, for example, and someone's oh, it's a shit meme coin, sell it immediately, it's going to crash. You're oh my God, I better sell. If there was something you can but what about these things? That gives you more of a conviction in the project. Whereas this, there's no floor, I guess you will, if the price was to drop. So yeah, I appreciate the $10 from yesterday, brother. But in my opinion, they can have a burn mechanism that burns 100% of the burn fees. They can have 20 burn mechanisms. For me, it's still a meme coin. Yeah, for me, still a meme coin, bro. So just be careful with it. And yeah. Is it? I'm going to pronounce your name wrong, bro, but is it Honor? I do apologize. I'm probably butchering your name. $8,000, 8,000 Glimmer, 450,000 Veracity, 335 Injective, 75K Gala, and 3K to invest somewhere. Had to grind hard for this. Any recommendations for good multiples with 3K? For sure. Keep in mind, none of this is financial advice. Be very careful here because 99.9% of YouTubers will not give you the answer to that question. I'm going to respect the fact that you just gave me $5. Because again, like this can be seen as investment advice. But what would I do? What would I personally? I wouldn't recommend you do this. Or what I do with that is I would look to take that 3K, and the furthest you can possibly go with that 3K is let's go with market cap. One of these launch pads. Now, if I was you, I shouldn't say that. What I would do is look at BSC pad as a possible contender here, right? Look at a launch pad that you can buy have a lot of weight in, that you can continually use any money that you get in, or use any money that I was to get in through YouTube or whatever, and buy these initial DEX offerings, initial project offerings, basically. Personally, that's like the furthest you'll see your money go. Absolutely. Unless you get a lucky 1000x, because these projects will more than 100x overall, like 100%. So like this is the real big play. That's why I'm like itching to get into these projects right now. Like fucking itching to get into these projects. You have no idea. I've never had more FOMO for at least 2 years, right? So I'm just like every day I like checking these, please go down, please go down. That'd be my move. Easily. I got a video coming out on launch pads again here soon, brother. So check it out. Thanks for the $5. Another $5 here from Goals and Gains. I love your name, man. QNT to 2K thoughts. Love your channel, brother. And that's no BS. Thanks, my man. I appreciate that a lot. Let's keep it no BS. Brad, there's not a day that goes by in my life that I can't swindle in the no BS little tagline there. It's just too good. I think QNT can go to 2K without a doubt. Yeah, I would say probably a safer prediction to keep people on the side is $1,000 to $1,500. That I think for most people will be obtainable, and what you should be looking for a project like Quant. I think my price predictions are probably even skewed right now because I'm thinking to myself, it's been moving sideways. Objectively, right, if we're comparing Quant to other very promising projects, I think it can most definitely hit $3,000 token, for example, right? Maybe even $4,000 token, right? Because that is basically a $40 billion token, right? And we've been talking about projects shooting up like hell, Solana, 2 years out of a bull market. Technically, people would even argue this is still a bear market. I wouldn't, but technically 2 years out of the real bull run, and that project's already at a $40 billion market cap. So, people just don't really know how much $1 trillion is, and they don't understand that, crypto has narrative seasons. It just doesn't all equilibrium go up. Quant might hit a 30 billion market cap and then go back down. Other projects go up. It's like money flows, right? So I think it can definitely hit that, but I wouldn't want to tell people Quant's definitely going to $2,000, right? So yeah, that's my 2 cents on the topic, brother. I would say 2K. Imagine that as the top. And so if you're looking for a 20x, simple, right? I would say choose a different project because you don't want to buy on you don't want to sell on the price prediction. You want to sell within the price prediction, within reason. What am I doing? Again, I'm looking for a 30x, 25 to 30x overall, if I get them specific. So I'll be selling quite a lot higher than that. I just don't want to tell you guys that because I just don't want you all to. I mean, anything could happen, right? Anything could happen. So, would you sell all your XRP for Casper? Let me show you something real quick, brother. Let me show you something real quick. First of all, I don't own XRP, so I just don't. I've never had conviction really in the project. What's that guy's name? So I would. Yes, I would, personally speaking. But if we're talking about for the bull run, I think that's a very logical thing to assume, in my opinion, because I don't think XRP is going to have the multiples. But if you're someone who wants to buy Casper, like immediately swap into Casper, just know that Casper is pretty much at its all-time high-ish. Like Casper is very extended itself. But if you're like, Kyron, I want a 20x. Like if we were on a one-on-one consult, if you said that question to me, I would say, well, first of all, what are you looking for multiples? If you came around and said to me, Kyron, I'm looking for a 20x, I would say, well, you're unlikely to get a 20x with XRP. So immediately, if, depending on when you bought in, of course. But then I would probably say to you, I don't know about Casper either. Like, and that's the thing, like take a safer bet. We're early enough right now for you to like not risk that like other people will that get into the market in 12 months time. We can look for projects that are still in the billions of market cap, but have been at the billions for a long time, are showing strong signs of growth, and are still cheap. Now we can use one I always talk about here, like HBAR. Like that would be a more logical swap. I feel like you're probably trying to get into Casper because you got FOMO. You got FOMO for Casper. So if you can tell yourself, yeah, no, honestly, I have FOMO. I want to get in. I feel like I'm missing out here. If you have that urge, that flutter, like I have for those launch pads, that is I need to step away here and have a look at other projects. I'm telling you, nothing hurts more, man. Nothing hurts more than having to choose a different project. But even shit projects will make us money. We just have to find the right ones. So that would be my answer. But what I wanted to show you here, brother, was this guy. Shit. CryptoMason. A lot of you guys know CryptoMason. I didn't actually know about the guy till recently. I didn't realize he's actually a pretty big influencer, right? But he put up a video. He might have even deleted it now. Damn, I literally saw it maybe this morning here. I don't know if he's trolling. Yeah, no, I don't think he is trolling. So he's being serious, right? He's a notorious XRP bull. I mean, he's a great guy. He actually preaches a lot of really good things. I like the dude. I like him. That's why I'm following him, right? But he says in this video clip, I might link it down below, actually, if you want to listen to it, man, in the comments, right? He says that XRP is a good long-term hold, but as for 2025, it's not a speculation market thing. It just doesn't have the characteristics to do what people want it to do. People like it's on a 50x, 100x, 20x. Just put some numbers on that, and it's not going to be feasible. Or at least it might be. It might happen. But risk to reward, the chance that happens is a lot less than the chance it doesn't happen. I mean, a lot. Yeah, that's what I mean. Right? So watch that clip, bro. Maybe he'll be able to provide you some insight. I mean, again, him and myself share that similar opinion. It's just good to hear it from a guy who's literally been pushing XRP down apparently 5 years, and who holds a lot of XRP himself. If he holds a lot of himself, he's just making a very objective call. So, yeah. But again, would I swap for Casper? Not right now. No. I just caught this. I caught my eye on this. You're still hanging with us. Montana, if you're still here, sweet dreams. You're probably just sitting there like still half listening. Joda, thank you for the 10. I'm not too sure what that is. What is that? Rupees? Hi, Karen. Near protocol, 40 to 50 doll. Not too sure what that means. Oh, dollar cost average maybe? Like you're 40% in? Not too sure what that means, brother. Real world asset, MKR, 30. I'm confused. 30K to 50K Pendle. I'm not going to lie, brother. I didn't even know how to answer that question, to be honest with you. Just type in the chat. Don't have to donate to me again, but just type in the chat, like, if you can clarify that, because I can't even read that, man. Like obviously you're using terms I just don't understand, which is fine, but yeah. Dole. What does dole mean? I'm the dumb one. Maybe I'm not the lingo. Dole crypto. No, it's not coming up. Yeah, just clarify down below, brother. I'll get back to that. Okay. Oh, we got some more super chats here. Yeah, I'm just looking for a safe 20 to 30x. Yeah, bro. In that case, man, I would do what I kind of instructed before. And not financially, of course. That's what I would do. Not you. Don't listen to what I'm saying. But again, I wouldn't look to move from an asset that's unlikely to 20x to an asset that, again, is unlikely to 20x. Again, you're looking for a 30, like me, I'm looking for 20 to 30x, but I would love a 30x. That's going to meet my goals, right? Yeah. Tyler says, KYC, possibly 10 to 15x this bull run. KYC, you mean like the KYC narrative? First of all, I would say if there is a narrative under KYC, that's just weird. But based on the comment, like based on what Van Eck from the video last night, they think that KYC DEX is going to do really well. They're going to have more volume coming, of course, because institutions will be able to come in, and therefore, they'll be able to siphon out all the sanctioned entities and stuff like that. So that would, if you mean like KYC DEXs, I think so. But by possibly 20 to 15x, you might have to clarify that as well, brother, as well, if you don't mind, please. KuCoin? Oh, you mean KuCoin's is that their token? Is it KYC, really? Oh. I'm guessing you mean KuCoin's token, right? KCS. Oh, okay, cool. KCS. Yeah, I mean, because again, what they reckoned last night from Van Eck was that Binance will be dethroned. I think Coinbase will take its place, but of course, Coinbase doesn't have a token. So, I think that these guys, BitGet's token, one of them will shoot up. I think maybe even FTX, just because people love a good meme, and the whole meme about FTX, that might push people in. Can this 10 to 15x? I think was the question, right? You asked, Tyler. Yeah. Here's the thing, man. Most projects that are around the $1 billion will 10 to 15x. But whether they cap out at a 10 to 15x or whether they go to like a 30 or a 40x, which, yes, is possible, even for a $2 to $3 billion project, just going to have to wait and see, people, then that is yet to be known. Because, again, like, so a price prediction is like the top prediction for that project. Like if it wicked, touched, and came back down, that's what I would assume a price prediction is. When I say reasonable price prediction, that's where I expect it to, like, you can probably comfortably see it go to. Wow. Okay, that's an interesting chart. That's literally going parabolic. Wow. Okay. It's 3x, basically. Yeah. Again, like, this is going to have a retracement. I don't know when, but you can imagine it's going to have something like, you see like sometimes in a bull run, they'll go up. Like this went from like, well, let me see if I can zoom in here real quick. But this isn't a bull run, mind you, and this is 2021. So this is the equivalent of 2025 for us. Like they go up, they slightly correct, they go up, they correct. But look how big these drops are, man. Like they have corrections, yeah? So from $17 down to $6. So like I kind of fast forward to today, I think we'll have a bit of a correction here, maybe even to 750, if not lower. So again, the lower you buy, simply the easier it becomes for it to get your multiples out. And it is important because while the price prediction, let's just say we had a genie crystal ball, well, KuCoin will might actually go to, like, say, well, whatever a 10x of this is, $125. Okay, that's all you want out of the project. But if you get in at like $5, which is literally 2x cheaper, you can get out at the 10x still, even though it'll go higher at 2x less. It's just safer. And that way, what you can then do is do your exit plan. Right, I got my course on this, by the way. It's now available for individual purchase, not to the bundle. First link down below, I believe it is. But wait, is it available? No, I don't think it is just yet. It's coming out very soon. I'm jumping the gun. But anyway, you want to set up sell levels just before and just above. I have a video coming out very soon, publicly free video, that'll help a lot of people out with these exit plans. It's a very big, important thing. And actually, let me just quickly go to full screen, a scuffed full screen really quickly. This was a tweet that was done by Superman this morning. I think it was this morning. Again, I'm trying to be on Twitter too much. I try to stay away from socials. But he said, again, what I've been telling you guys for a long time now, right? What is the most important thing? The hardest thing in crypto is when to sell. When to sell. All right, I'm going to keep screaming this at people, and unfortunately, I'm going to have a majority of people ignore what I say and what he says, and have to learn the hard way. But it's very important you get exit plans correct, and and you're reasonable. And again, like he says here, you think it's going to 100x or 1000x. You have all these ideas in your head. Oh, I'm up 10x already. The bull run's still got ages left. But you don't take into consideration narratives, exit, plans, price predictions, volume, ecosystem, like all these factors that play into this, and you just go, it's going to 100x still. So let me just remind you right now, most important thing out of all this is the sell levels. What up, B-Man? Caught a stream. Welcome. No problem, Tyler. Happy to be of service, my man. Tanya says, love your show. Thank you for being here. Thanks for that. How about Theta or T-Fuel? Okay, Theta. Yeah, I mean, I think it was a big player in the last bull run, right? People got all up in it. Yeah, look at this. See what I mean, guys? It hit 12 billion market cap, right? Like 14 billion market cap. And before that, it wasn't even known. It was a 100 mil market cap. So where we are right now, it was a $70 million market cap, and it hit 12 billion. You know what I'm saying? And that was for a small/micro cap. So what do I think for its future? To be honest with you, I haven't done much research into this project at all. I've seen it mentioned doing other bits of research around. I've seen it mentioned by other projects and saying, hey, this from Theta and that from Theta and da-da-da. Don't listen to the narrative of, oh, it's an old project, it won't hit all-time highs again. It might not, but you got to find the reasons why. And again, if it's got bigger and better competition, that will be a reason why. But so yeah, T-Fuel I'm guessing is like the gas token, just like kind of VeChain, I'm guessing, right? This might sound stupid to a lot of you because honestly, this project's been around and spoken about for a long time. So like, it's entertainment, all right. So is it cloud computing or is it like entertainment, like video and stuff? I'm guessing it's a mix of all that. I guess they've thrown AI in there because it's a good buzzword. Oh, okay. No, I get you. Okay. It just allows you to run AI on it. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I need to look more into Theta, man, because I just, when you traverse crypto, there's so much to look at. You just don't look at some of these projects sometimes. But yeah, Theta is one it's a good concept. I like the concept a lot. And it's a true use of crypto tech, decentralized, in this case, video entertainment, AI services, basically cloud-based services, a big hook. And that's why I like Flux so much. Bro, you still holding that H-bar? Yes, sir. 500K. Yep, 500K. I will not sell my H-bar. I'm expecting, again, like 25 to 30x out of that, no problem. Like, I think that'll definitely hit. So hit the damn like button, guys, says Roger, and I agree. I can't actually check right now how many likes we have, but I would really appreciate a drop on the like. Now, guys, I'm going to have to say thank you so much for being here. I know it's a very short live stream, but we have Tropical Cyclone Jasper. That is correct. That is its actual name. Approaching. Apparently, we've got 5 more hours until we see winds of 140 k's an hour. Apparently, my girlfriend's father works with the emergency services. He's like a captain of this whole area. So he said, like, definitely get home just in case. I don't think it's going to be that crazy. It's only a category 2, but still the wind speeds will be quite insane. So I need to get inside and away from my office, because my office is literally put together by glue, nails, and a tin roof. So, yes, thank you all for being here a lot. I hope I answered your question today, primarily, again, touching on the news and what I'm doing. Before I leave, I want to say, because there's a lot of you, I'm guessing, that are in here that didn't watch the main crux of the video, which, by the way, you should definitely re-listen to, was that, yes, it's good to DCA right now. I am DCAing depending on the projects. See, drop it down by the 7-day here, not 24 hour, not the 1 hour. Drop it down, see the best contenders. In this case, the best contender for me to buy is Illuvium and XDC. Not buying Near Protocol because Near Protocol is way too far gone. Pith Network is one I'm going to be getting into. I had the chance to get into this at 40 cents. I was like, and now it's at 43 cents again. Every cent counts, guys. Every cent counts. And the rest of these are just not buying right now. Especially Immutable X. I'm going to get into this, and it's just not feasible. But dollar cost average, hold your main bags for when these really do dip, because if we see a larger correction, right, you're definitely going to want to be holding, especially if it drops down to like 1.3. Down around here, we would have very good prices. And I feel like we might. Because these ETFs just aren't going to be living up to the hype anymore. If you don't know why, watch my video from last night. Thank you all so much, fellow Queenslander. You know it, so you know I'm not BSing. All right, guys. Got to talk soon. Have a great evening. And Montana, get to bed. Thank you for being here, guys. All right. Bye now.